This knife nearly cut my hand open. Yes. I'm sorry about the very dramatic opening line there, but this is the Condor Norse Dragon, and it really did almost cut my hand open. I will explain. I asked you guys if you wanted me to review some knives, and most of you said that this is the knife you want me to review, and here it is. I ordered this through Amazon, and it looks good. I will say it looks good. It has Norse-inspired burnt handle on both sides, and it's a rat tang knife, and this is the typical broken back Seax shape, commonly used in Northern Europe during the Viking Age. What do I think about this knife? Well, I haven't used it much yet, but I will say that I was disappointed, and the reason is not the knife itself. I will get back to the knife itself, but the sheath is a problem. Here it is. This is the sheath, and the blade is supposed to fit in the sheath, obviously. I couldn't get the knife into the sheath. So what I did, because I think there's some glue here inside the sheath. So what I did, I applied some force, which was stupid, and I pushed the knife into the sheath, and it suddenly burst out this way. That's dangerous, and that shouldn't happen. I then foolishly tried to get the knife out of the sheath, and I had to apply some force, and I then almost cut my hand. Sorry, that's a fly. Cut my hand, the hand that was holding the sheath, like this. So this sheath is worthless, and that's a big disappointment. I emailed Condor, and they said that they needed to see a video of the problem with the sheath, and I said no, that should not be necessary. I'm going to make a YouTube video, a review, so you can watch that instead. So I don't know, that's maybe not the best customer service I have. Yeah, well, I think they should have just sent me another sheath. That's what I would have done. So the knife is quite small. I would say the handle it's okay, but as soon as you start shifting your grip a little bit, the handle is on the small side. Now I have large hands, so for most people this handle will be adequate. It will be okay. The shape is dictated by the Seax shape, of course. It is not the best shape for bushcraft, obviously, so I will not be batoning with this knife. That's not what it's designed for. But I will show you a little bit how it cuts, and we'll see if it's any good. I picked an apple off a tree here nearby, and shouldn't be a problem. That's a good apple. Okay, by the way, I've started to make a sheath out of something, an old sheath that I'm not using. And as you can see, I'm not a professional leather worker. But at least now I have a sheath that I can use for this knife. Okay, let's see if we can make some feather sticks. Now it's not the sharpest, it's not very sharp. This is not a sharp knife. Now I haven't sharpened it. I have not sharpened it at all, but this is actually a little bit disappointing. I don't know, maybe, I hope you can see this. Let's see here. It doesn't really grip the wood much, so that's not... I expect better actually. Now, you can, if you put it on your nail, if you didn't know, it should have some resistance when you move it back and forth, and this one it hasn't. So no, that's not good enough. Now, just for comparison, this is my other Seax, the one I use the most when I, I've used it at Viking festivals and so on, but also for bushcraft. This is a proper knife, and I believe that a Seax should have this size. And I've used this for batoning, feather sticks, everything, food preparation, and this is a one-off, so you can't really buy this one anywhere. But quite a big difference. Okay, and the sheath I had specially made. Now these were normally carried horizontally, like this, on your belt. But since this is such a small knife for a Seax, then I will sharpen it up and carry it like this. So no, that's not good enough. Before I forget, an important message here to all of you guys who have asked about the bushcraft courses. The first weekend is full, but I have a second weekend now. So if you're interested in my bushcraft course, the 2-day course, just go to my website. There's a link in the video description and you will find it there. I also have a man tracking course, which will be in September. Just for comparison, here's the Condor Kevlar, so another knife by Condor, which is, now I have touched up the, or whatever you say, the blade, a little bit here, but this one was sharp right out of the box as well. So as you can see, big difference. It doesn't bite at all, big difference. Now this is a Scandi grind, which I prefer, and this is not that. So yeah, a little bit disappointing. Now, having said that, I will also say that a knife will get dull when you use it. So it's not, to me at least, it's not a problem that a knife is not sharp right out of the box. I think it should be, but I will sharpen this knife and then it will be sharp. It's not a big problem, and you should learn how to sharpen your knives. But it's nice when a knife is brand new that it is sharp. That's my opinion. I haven't used it with a ferro rod, but I think that should not be a problem. This is 1095, I think, and you can also sharpen the spine here and use it with a ferro rod, but I never use my Seaxes with a ferro rod because it's typically something you would use with, you know, flint and steel. Let's see. Here's this fire striker, actually. Mjolnir fire striker, made by my friend Berserker Gang 2019. So yeah, it's, you know, whoever designed this had some ideas that I think are good, and it's well thought through. I mean, even there are runes here. I think it says Condor. This is the, if I'm not mistaken, the Elder Futhark. Here, I don't know if you can see that. But that's much nicer than if they had just written Condor, the brand, in Latin, with Latin letters. So yeah, you know, it's a nice knife. It's not too expensive. I think that for a Seax, the blade is too small, and the sheath is a disaster. I mean, maybe I was unlucky, but it's just not. That's dangerous, and they should have better quality control than that. Yeah. So, can I recommend this knife? Well, it is not the most useful knife. I would not recommend it for bushcrafting. It's yeah, it's limited. Its use is limited, I would say. Okay. Now, I think that's all for now. Thank you for watching the video.